Shifter now, we coming in hot now. Slow, sponsored by the Quick Trip. Yeah, we never done this. With the ones to be on the street, rising up, we on repeat. Ain't no stopping now. Drop the beat, make them take a seat. Let me see you bounce, let your energy announce. Tune in every week, ain't no room for the weak. Quick Trip in the back, we stay on the right track. Us will never lag, always getting that side.
Beautiful people, we are joined today with Mr. Jimmy. It's Packer Bear Week, you know what I mean?
We're hunting right now. I put on my hunting gear for this, man.
Dude, you got the hunting gear on, and I do want to give everyone a heads up. Wi-Fi kind of sketchy over here at the Ramage Palace since yesterday. So we're going to try this thing, but every time my Wi-Fi might go out, Jimmy's just going to stay there, and he's going to say nice things about me, I think.
The sweetest things.
That's the thing. Because I don't go back. I would never go back and watch. I mean, I get clips, but like AI does it. Like, I'm not watching this. That's why I'm so appreciative that people do. Because I try to watch it. I'm like, I can't. No, I'm just kidding. You know, because you can't watch yourself. I feel like if you love watching yourself, then that's a whole other thing.
You never sound like what you think you sound like either. And I can't stand it. Every time I hear my voice, I'm like, oh, this.
Yeah, especially like if I have a few beers in me, like I hear my voice and I'm just like, this guy's a loser. Like, why does anyone watch this guy?
You can tell he's trying not to slur right now.
I know he's just like he got pulled over. No, I shouldn't make that joke. Shouldn't make that joke. Don't drink. I don't do that. Anyways, let's talk about the sponsors now. All right, shout out to Quick Trip being a sponsor of the Matt Ramage Show, and we're talking about Packer points over here, or the fan zone actually. For every whole dollar spent at Quick Trip location before tax and after any discounts, offers, etc., you will earn one fan zone point. Those points will be added directly to your fan points available balance. Use your fan points to enter for a chance to win a variety of prizes throughout the Green Bay Packers season, including a 2024 Chevy Traverse, Z71, Arian Snowblower, Polaris Sportsman 570, and more. Dude, I used to have a Polaris Sportsman 570. I sold it.
Oh, really?
It's a really good machine, but like I didn't use it because like in my town you could just ride a 4-wheeler down the road. So I would just if that's a 4-wheeler, I'm not sure if that's a 4-wheeler or if something else because they all have the same thing, Polaris 570. But I had a 4-wheeler, and I would take it to Quick Trip. I had a little bucket on the back, I'd go on a little beer run or whatever just to use it because I never went to the trails or whatever. So I was like, I bought this thing with good intentions. I use it for a plow, but I was like, it just taking up room and like oil change was coming. I was like, I don't know how to do that. I'll just sell it.
Now that you brought up Fan Zone, I just wanted to see how much because the nice thing about Fan Zone is, like you said, every dollar you spend, you get a point. Yeah. But then when you go to it and you say, hey, let me start spending some points, and then you see how much money you spent at Quick Trip over the last year, I put like 3,000 points towards different things. Game day experiences, a suite with Charlie Barons. I'm going to put some money for that 4-wheeler now. Try to fit in these up north people, but it's
dude, I have to check. I have to check how many dude, I guarantee you, I spend money. I give them money every day. So
I just spent $30 there today.
It's a good deal for them to sponsor me because I just give it back to them. You know what I mean? I'm like, dude, and also big shout out to Nicolay Law for sponsoring the show. And if you ever get hurt in an accident, you need to get help because those insurance companies are going to screw you if you miss work. And Nicolay Law is going to hook you up. But we're going to talk about some Packer-Bear rivalry. And for people who are tuning in just now, my Wi-Fi has been sketchy lately. So if I cut out, Jimmy's going to take over, and he's just going to say lovely things about me as I'm gone, I'm sure. But also, I want to give a shout to everyone who's listening on the audio. You know what I mean? That's why I want to make sure Jimmy takes over because people on the audio, I don't want it to be like just dead space. But I appreciate people listening because there's so many people doing Packers podcasts. And you chose this one, maybe you just don't know that there's other ones. But I appreciate you listening. But what's up, Jimmy? How have you been, and how has this bye week been treating you?
Man, I've been good. I've been in Florida the last couple weeks, so I got back late. Yeah, that's why I haven't been here. Been in Florida. Talk about bad Wi-Fi. That hotel I had to work a couple days down there. It took at least 2 minutes to load up every screen. It was awful. But it's been good, man. I can't complain at all. Hunting season coming up in Wisconsin. We're thriving right now, dude.
Dude, I feel like your whole life's a vacation. Just talking to you. I was like, it's funny because I was like, you were on vacation or whatever you were. And then I was talking to my wife about it. I was like, he's probably back by now. I'll text him. He's like, nope. I was like, all right, dude, live it up. You know what I mean? But I know that you work hard now. You got some stuff coming up. But
it's a nice part because I can work remotely. So I like even down there, we were down there 2 weeks. I worked the first week and then I was off the second week. So I got a week off and then I worked the first week.
Dude, are you in the mafia?
Just making people suspicious down there, dude.
What if you were and I just called you out and you're like, whoa, I might have to whack this guy.
Yeah, don't talk about it, man.
Yeah, like I mean,
that's why I wear this Grandma Judy chain. This is my mafia chain.
All right, so let's talk about some Packer Bears. I want to give a shout out to a few people in the comments. What's up, Wendy? How you doing? Iowa Joe in the building. But let's talk about this Packer Bear rivalry because I made a post today. I hate the Bears. Like, probably, I wouldn't say more than anyone else, but as much as the person that hates them the most. Maybe Aaron Nagler's that person. I don't know. But I feel like people our age, that is the team. I know I said it's the biggest rivalry in sports. I know a lot of people they're like, what about outside of America? Like, what do I know about outside of America? I don't know about soccer. I mean, but to me, it is. And that's the thing. Like, it's an opinion. That's an opinion. If I say the Packer-Bear rivalry is the best, it's not like I got research and I took out science, and I took polls and we asked the nation. I just think it is because I hate the Bears so much. I don't know. People like bring up basketball, like Lakers, I think Boston. I was like, the NBA? I really never hear about like
that's still around?
Yeah, like I mean, I know it's there, but like I never hear about rivalry. I mean, obviously there's rivalries. There's teams that hate each other. But let me ask you this. Like, what do you consider a rivalry? Because that was a big discussion today. Shout out to Matt Carter over on Facebook. I believe Vikings fan. But, like, what do you see as a rivalry? Because Bears, Packers, people say it's not a rivalry because the Packers always win. But, like, I feel like if you ask Bears fans, can you imagine losing to a team 10 times in a row and they have two Hall of Fame quarterbacks back-to-back. You're struggling to get one and just going through the same motion. Dude, the Bears, whatever happens this season, those fans, if the Packers lose to the Bears one time, that would be worth it for the season.
Oh, we might have lost them already.
Oh, am I out?
Oh, you're back now. You're back.
All
I
right.
was about to start complimenting you.
So what's your take on that? Like rivalries, like first of all, what team do you hate the most?
Oh, it has to be the Bears number one. The Vikings are a close second, but it used to be Lions. I honestly would forget the Lions existed. And then the last couple of years, and with the way they're chirping right now, especially Amon-Ra St. Brown, I love it because it fuels the rivalry, but it's still like they're kind of creeping up closer to second place, but it has to be Bears. Like any loss, and we haven't experienced it, like you said, for 10 games, but whenever we would lose to the Bears would piss me off. Thankfully, I haven't experienced that for such a long time, but I cannot. I hate the Bears. They're the absolute worst.
It's the Bears for me. And like this comment, shout out to Mason over here commenting that the Bears need to get better to make the rivalry better again. I think the rivalry is fantastic how it is because you know how I like my rivalries where my team wins. That's what I want. I get because people are like it's not competitive. But I feel like the hate's still there. You know, like the Cubs are playing and they start yelling, Green Bay sucks. They have the chant breaks out. And we always make fun of Bears fans because they chant Green Bay sucks at random times whenever they're getting like groups of people. But Packer fans do the same thing. I remember being at an Eagles game years ago and a Bears still suck chant broke out and the Bears still suck song came on and everyone danced. It was like a tailgate. And all the Eagles fans were so confused because they're like, you're not playing the Bears. But like that hatred runs deep. And like for me being a Bear hater, it's not like something new. Like this was taught to me as a child. I had a friend next door neighbor, best friend, was a Bears fan. On Sunday, he couldn't come over. He would be in our house all day, every day. But on Sunday, dude, he'd be trying to get in. And like, the door, we didn't lock the door in the 80s. Like, no, you can't come in. The adults wouldn't let it. So, like, dude, I feel like that's what it is for me, the Packers-Bears rivalry. I hate them. It has nothing to do with what's happening right now. It's like just overall, I don't know. And the Vikings, I feel like, are most hated because they're fans. Like, Bear fans aren't crazy. So, like, Viking fans,
they're the most annoying for sure.
Yeah, they're just all over the place on social media. But who are some outside the division rivals or folks you hate? Let's just talk hatred today.
Yeah, this is a pure hatred podcast. But before I do outside the division, I'm with you. I don't care if it's competitive, as long as the hate is there on both sides. It's a rivalry. Like, that's all you need. You don't need competitiveness. You need teams that hate each other. And right now, it hasn't been competitive with the Bears. We hate them, they hate us. That's a rivalry. Yeah,
like when Aaron Rodgers, like he said, dude, can you imagine a quarterback standing in Lambeau Field screaming, "I own you," and he does?
Yeah.
Like, dude, I don't know if I could function as a sports fan. I don't know how I would podcast. Like, I couldn't imagine. So, like, shout out to Bear fans. Because, like, you lost 10, dude, it's got to be so brutal. This team you hate so much. It's like the Niners. I just had to think about it. The only good thing about the Niners situation is that they beat the Packers in the playoffs and then they lose. So if they went on to win a Super Bowl, then you got to get amnesia. That's what you got to do. You got to just forget.
I'll start banging my head on the wall, honestly. I'll knock it out of my brain. But no, But yeah, think of like outside the division stuff. It's not so much now, but the Legion of Boom Seahawks, like that was definitely a rivalry. Played them a couple times. The game that should not be named, the Voldemort treatment, that championship game was just still haunts me. 49ers right now, not in the division. And even this goes back to the 90s. It hasn't, like, I still hate the Cowboys. Like, playing them, I still consider a bit of a rivalry. Yeah. Like, nothing really impacts us much. Obviously, beat them in the playoffs last year. That would have impacted us. But playing them, I still get that, like, oh, I hope this team just gets their butt kicked right now. So I don't even care who they play. I hope they lose. So that's another one, too, another team I hate. I feel like they hate us, too. But I feel like those are really the main ones out of it. Seahawks for a bit. I still don't like playing them. 49ers and then Cowboys.
Yeah, I feel like some rivalries are like mini rivalries, like that Seahawks rivalry.
Yeah,
it was there, but like because every team can't be a rival. That's someone was saying, like, the Cowboys are a rival, which they are because that goes back with history, and I feel like that's what rivalry is. People are like, we'll take the history out of it. Like, how? Like, I feel like that's what builds a rivalry is playing each other over and over, and like, obviously if it's competitive, it's more of a spicy rivalry. But if you're on the winning side, it's fantastic. Like, you think those Patriot fans were mad because they kept beating the Jets? Like, dude, no, that's what you want to do. You want to beat people. But yeah, dude, I absolutely hate the Bears. But it's all right. So the Bears are in shambles right now. Packers obviously coming off a bye. I don't know the Packers' record off a bye, but I feel like it's pretty good. And the Bears are going the opposite route. They fired their offensive coordinator. Which some people said is their best coach. You know what I mean? I don't know if that's true because I'm not a Bear coach expert. But then it's said that some veterans went to the coaches before this happened and said, we want the backup to play, the backup quarterback to play. They wanted Caleb Williams to get benched. And I'm pretty sure DJ Moore was the leader on that. Whoever it was with him. The actions of him after some plays. So what do you think is going on in Chicago? Do you think that they can, I mean, because sometimes a different offensive coordinator, you know, they might have a spicy first game, but I feel like the Packers are going to win big. But what do you think is going on in Chicago?
Yeah, I think the big thing is Matt Eberflus is nervous, as he should be, that he's going to get fired this year. And right now it's just trying to figure out if he can fire somebody else and get a new play caller OC in there, if they can kind of right the ship a little bit, because at the end of the I think regardless, at the end of the season, Eberflus is going to get fired. His defense has been decent, not to where it was at the end of last year. The offense has been terrible. And so I think right now it's just kind of like, hey, let me fire somebody else, see if I can save my job. Like, my dude, you're not saving your job. You suck as a head coach. Like, you're out of there. I'm sorry to break it to you. Waldron, though, he got fired from the Seahawks after Carroll retired. They got McDaniel, and they moved on from the offensive coordinator. He got hired at the Bears, didn't last a full season, so he got fired twice in less than 12 months. Not great. He's and people weren't that. What was it? Jackson Smith and Jigbo was saying when they asked him like, "Hey, how do you feel about Waldron?" And his response was, "Are we live right now?" And then said like, "He's a nice guy." Like I feel like that's not a good sign when you hire somebody that the ex-player's first question is, "Are we live?" So I don't think it was a good offensive hiring, but if people think it was, it didn't turn out. So we'll see what happens. But I think they're in scramble mode right now, and I hate to say it because I'm sure Caleb Williams is a nice guy. You're on the Bears, so I hope you have the Trubisky and Justin Fields treatment of you're there for a couple years and then you find a new home. Hopefully he goes to the AFC and has a great career, but I hope he's absolutely terrible where he is right now. But I think Matt's out of here, so I'm going to keep rambling. I think with the Bears offense, though, if they can just get him, Caleb Williams' biggest problem is he just holds on to the ball way too long. And that was the last game he had 9 sacks. Partly the offensive line is hot garbage, just like the whole franchise. And he is gone. Hot garbage like the whole franchise. The quarterback holds on. That's a horrible recipe. You have a quarterback that holds on to the ball too long. There he is. You have a quarterback that holds on to the ball too long. You have a offensive line that's awful. Like that's just you're gonna be a terrible team, and that's what they are. So I think we're gonna win. There's that little bit of new offensive coordinator, new play calls. You can't really predict too much what they're gonna do, but there's always a little bump when a new person comes in. But I think the Packers still should handle business.
Yeah, for sure. I heard all of that, dude. That was some good.
That's the most I've talked straight on this show. So I was like, oh no, Jimmy, you're going to show how stupid you are right now.
I always think that when I'm rambling, I'm like, dude, shut up and let him talk. So there you go. Now all you need is my Wi-Fi for me to shut my hole and let you get your thing in.
I sent the stuff they used to create the Hurricane South over to your house. I was like, hey, let me get this going.
All right. I do want to get to this comment before it scrolls up and I can't see it no more. From Greg Haynes. It says, hello, Matt from Strawberry Plains, Tennessee. The Bears will be more than ready for the Pack. They badly need a win. The Pack need to eliminate physical and mental errors and come out ready. By the way, I hate Dallas. Not sure why they get so much national coverage. Yeah, it's Texas. You know what I mean? Everything's bigger in Texas, including flops and horrible football. You know what I mean? Shout out to Greg. I appreciate you tuning in and for the comment. But yeah, I believe that the Bears are going to be hyped up for sure. Like the Bears are going to be as ready as they can be with the drama. Because I don't care if anyone says like, oh, this is not a distraction. Yeah, it is, dude. Oh, yeah. I have a job. I work at a cheese factory. If like the slightest thing happens over here that's not normal, everyone's distracted. Like, what's going on over there? You know what I mean? I get that they're gonna try not to be distracted, but it's a distraction when it's now. You know, does Caleb Williams go up to people like, "Hey, who the hell? What the heck, bro?" Like, you know what I mean? What's up, guys? Like, they're like, no, it wasn't me. He's starting to figure it out because I would be looking like, which one of you? I'm like, DJ, I know it was you. I know it was you because I know that they probably had conversations, but. Like you said though, as the human for Caleb Williams, I feel bad for him. Like as a human, but he plays for the Bears. What are you gonna do?
Yeah. Hope you suck.
They don't know how to handle quarterbacks. I just feel like it's gonna be a mess. But like I said, they're gonna try their best. Like they don't like that, you know. We own you stuff, and they want to get a win. Like everyone in the locker room, I don't care if they just got there. Like nobody wants to be part of a team that this other team just dominates you all the time. Yeah. So they're going to try. But I also feel like on the other side, Jordan Love, coming off the injury, had a bye week. Hopefully he's rested and everything is – it's not going to be perfect. I don't know anything about groins. And I know mine a little bit, but it's not that impressive. I don't really – but
massage it every once in a while. You're good to go.
I've never – anyways, if he comes back, hopefully he can run around. He can do something. But Jordan Love wants to keep that going. He cares about that ownership. He cares that, you know, Aaron Rodgers has been doing it. Jordan Love doesn't want to be the one to come in and lose. Obviously, at some point, the Bears are going to win. They're not going to go 30 years without beating the Packers. Although, I don't care what all you people think. That would be fabulous for me. Dude, I figure if they get to 20, they should just eliminate the franchise.
They have to sell. Yeah, if they get to 20-0, the Bears have to sell their team to.
Yeah, they have to move to like a suburb. Or they have to move to like a
Matt's Wi-Fi is garbage. I think he's going to say they have to move to a suburb.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
There he is.
Hey, all right. So let's keep it moving over here. All right, so just talking football,
can I
what
give
do you got?
my drunken conspiracy on who the veteran was?
Who?
All right, let me get a little Busch Light in me to tell you.
Yeah. Throw that thing down. Oh, look at that sip. Dude, you got to chug that thing.
Mercedes Lewis still loves the Packers so much and wishes he was on the team that he said, you know what's going to help them? If I put our second string quarterback in there, I'm an old wise veteran. Let me talk to the head coach. Say, hey, fire the offensive coordinator. And you know what else we should do? Put the backup in to play the Green Bay Packers to give the Packers the best shot at winning.
Yeah.
Probably what happened. He cut out there, but what he was going to say was, Jimmy, you're really smart. That's the best thing. That's the best thing I've ever heard, truthfully. And that's what I'm assuming he's going to say. I'm hoping he cuts back in because I don't know what his question was going to be. I've had my 6-year-old daughter sick right now, and dealing with her throwing up is better than dealing with Matt's Wi-Fi right now. Jeez. All right, he's out of here. He'll be back in a second. Other storylines for this with the offense. Now, I've seen it in the comments a couple times. Jordan Love, he's going to have to – the Bears' defense is decent. Like, as much as I like to crap on the Bears, like, their defense can be decent. They have some good pieces in the secondary. He's back. And so Jordan Love's going to have to eliminate those mistakes and play a little bit smarter football than he's played. Hopefully, we saw at the end of last year, the second half of the year, he was so calculated. And those 50-50 balls went a little more the Packers' way. Hopefully, he can keep going that way. But he has to eliminate some of those Will Levis grenade throws like we've seen throughout the season. Or as Matt says, Will Levi's.
Dude, that's a funny thing is I was talking all that trash about him, and then Jordan Love started having a couple, and I was just like, all right, let me chill out. No, but like obviously Jordan Love, like some of the interceptions are just horrible. I love Jordan Love, and I ride with him because I do think that it's crazy because people are like, they always the knock on Rodgers was always he doesn't take chances, doesn't want to throw that thing up, and then Jordan Love's like, I'll do it, I'll throw that thing up, but like. I don't mind the taking a chance downfield, especially in certain situations, and then a defensive player makes a great play. I don't like just like floating it to like a linebacker or defensive lineman or whatever, and just not want to take a sack or not want to throw it away. And he'll clean that up. And then sometimes you don't know if they got hit or like what happened. Like, but that one interception when that. You know, he threw it like 3 feet. Yeah. I was like, hey, I'll be sugarcoating stuff, but I don't know how to do it, Jordan. That was bad.
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was going to say, I don't mind when he bombs it down the field and thinks like, hey, Dobbs is down there. As Jaden Reed says, like, F it. Jaden Reed's down there somewhere. Yeah. Throw it down there. Let him see what he can do. But it's those dumb ones. What was it? The Vikings was another. He was trying to avoid the safety through the pick six, whatever team that was. Or Lions through that one. It's like you have to eliminate those really stupid ones, and then the ones where you just give your receiver a chance are much easier to deal with. But hey, I'll take it. I like the excitement. Every time he drops back, it's either I always tell myself, is he's gonna be the best throw you've ever seen in your life, or you're gonna just ram your head into the wall.
Dude, that's the thing. Like with Favre, whenever he launched it, I was always scared and like hopeful. You know, scared mostly though. And then with Rodgers, it was different. When he launched it, I was like, it's a touchdown. And it wasn't always, obviously. But, like, I was hopeful. I was more hopeful than scared because Rodgers cares about interception touchdown ratio. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then with Jordan Love, I feel like I don't know what to think. He throws it up. I'm just like, it could, like you say, it could be awesome. Could be a horrible interception. And then you're like, hey, just watching this return, it's not good. But, so let me ask you this. So do you have a score prediction? Do you think I think the Packers are going to blow up the Bears by 30. I really believe that. Oh. I do. I believe that they're going to blow them up by 30 because the Packers are going to, first of all, they see blood. They own the Bears, all that stuff. Like all the stuff we just talked about, Jordan Love coming back, and he wants to show, you know, he hears all this stuff, and Jordan Love cares about beating the Bears. He would love nothing more than to be like, dude, let's go out and punch him in the throat and then stomp him out and just end their season. Because they're already in shambles. If they get beat down by the Packers, it's a wrap. Who knows? People might get benched. More people might get fired. I don't know if they're firing one coach at a time. Maybe next week they fire another coach. And then a week after that, another one. They're trying to spice it up, Jimmy. They don't want to fire everyone at once like normal. You know what I mean? They're trying to spice it up. But what do you think? How do you think this game plays out?
I think going back to last year, the Packers started off a little bit slow with them, and it came down to what was it, like a 3rd and 8. He hit Tucker Kraft. The only reason I know that is I saw a video on Twitter today. I don't have a memory that well to be able to call plays out like that.
Yeah,
it was of a Bears fan doing a live or a game show or game feed for it, and just seeing his reaction. So I was cracking up. But I don't know, man. I feel like you said, though, this is one, blood's in the water. I know they have changes on the Bears side, but still, like, it's something we should be able to handle and should be able to dominate. I think even if we start slow in the first quarter, we've shown we're a second half team. So if the Bears get a score in the first half or like 10, 13 points in the first half, I'm not worried about it. We're going to bounce back, hold them to not that many points in the second. And this is one where our defensive line should be able to eat that offensive line. One, they're terrible. And two, Caleb Williams is going to give you a chance to get to him. He's going to hold on to the ball. He's going to think he's playing Madden or that he's Patrick Mahomes and run around in the backfield. So, man, I think it should be, I'll give it 31. I'll give the Bears a late garbage time touchdown that no one cares about. I'll give it 31-20. But I think the Packers should be able to handle that, man. You get Jordan Love coming back. He should 2 weeks off, should be healthy. He had that groin, obviously, the knee from the beginning of the year. That's still bothering him, and you know it is. That's an injury that's going to last all season because you don't have that long time to get healthy. But yeah, I'm gonna say 31-20, Packers win. He cut out again. But yeah, no, one thing I'm looking for a Christian Watson game. We've had some where he's made some splash plays here and there, but I really want to see a game where he goes off. It's been a different person every week. I want to see some deep shots to him. Thinking back to what really started the run. I know we beat the Chiefs and then we played the Lions on Thanksgiving and we started that game off with the deep shot to Christian Watson. I want to see stuff like that again this game. I want to see him getting involved, getting him downfield, letting him really show how athletic he can be. We've had struggle with drops last week, and it wasn't even just Dontavian Wicks this time by himself. It was literally like every receiver. Our most reliable receiver, Dobbs, dropped a couple. Kraft dropped some. Wicks, of course. That's just kind of what's going to happen every week right now. So I really want to see Christian Watson get some big plays. Hopefully Matt jumps in here in a second. I'm going to have to start drinking more if I'm going to have to talk by myself. But yeah, no, it's a Bears rivalry game, man. It's gonna be a hell of a game. Bears offense, though, what do you have to worry about there? DJ Moore, as much as Caleb Williams has been struggling, Keenan Allen's there, Mr. Reliable, Rome Odunze, whatever. He's a rookie. He'll make mistakes. He'll do his thing. But DJ Moore is one that he's carved up the Packers a couple times. This is by far his most down year that he's had, which is funny because which is weird to say. Caleb Williams might be the best quarterback he's played with in his career, even though he's had 1,000 yards receiving every year, not every year, but the last couple seasons. So hopefully we can shut him down, get Jair back, kind of limit that as much as possible. But man, let's make fun of Matt. Can someone put in the comments, do you guys actually like Matt's show? Do you like him? Because right now, unprofessional. Am I right? As someone who's never had Wi-Fi issues in his life, I can say this is crazy. Not really. I've had to cancel the show a couple times because of my Wi-Fi, so I can't blame him at all. This is so awkward for me. I'm not supposed to be the host, guys. I'm sorry. He should be back in a second. I'm sure Iowa Joe has something to say in a little bit about me having to do this. All right, let's do this. For people here, in the comments, who on the Bears team, offense, defense, whatever, who gives you the most worry for this game? I know our run defense actually has been pretty good this year, so I can't even name a running back. With DeAndre Swift back there, like that's really not something I have to worry about. They traded away Khalil Herbert. They got Roschon Johnson, who's kind of just that big body person. He's not really going to do that much. Maybe when you get around the goal line, which we've seen this team struggle to. They lost to the Patriots. Let's go to that. A team that is abysmal. The Patriots are awful. If you listen to the Bill Simmons podcast, he is their biggest fan. And man, he is giving them they're a bad team. Their defense is supposed to be their saving grace. They suck and somehow still held the Bears to 3 points. They won with scoring 19 points with Drake May, the number 2 beating the number 1 pick, which is kind of fun to do. Will Packers run this game or focus on Pat? For this one, looking back at the last game, I think it was Stevenson who put that comment. John Takes, whatever your last name is. That's a good question. I think the Packers they focus on the one regardless. I think they're going to really try to run